Everybody good? You guys are so quiet, God.
Okay.
Okay, cool. My name's
good.
Jeremiah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. My name's Jeremiah. This is the Poi Multiplex class. Kind of turned into the Poi toss class, and then a little flavor of multiplexing. So I'm gonna recap it in a different order that we did, just for the sake of video being a little streamlined. So the first thing, we'll just go through all the tosses that we worked on. We worked on the single rotation. Same thing, you can just throw a little higher, double rotation. It's fine. Half, throw into the head, throw into the handle from the head. Flats. Helicopter throws, throwing horizontally. And those can go either direction, it doesn't matter. Reverse throws. These slides, doing these slides, sliding to the head, sliding to the knob. No beats. And we worked on a couple different types of catches. We worked on a few different body throws, so we're catching behind the back, we're throwing from behind the back, catching with the same hand behind the back, catching under the arm, and then we have that throw from the non-native, we worked on that. So those are all kind of the basic throw types. So we didn't work on but the behind the head catch, kind of the same thing as behind the back, you're just planting it on the back of your head, get a little like bird feather thing going, and you're just throwing straight to that spot. Any catch behind your body, you don't really want to reach for. You can still catch it that way and you'll get used to it, but you're kind of, you don't have any navigation, right? So really planting your hand on your body, that gives you something to throw at that's solid. You know where that's at, you can feel it. So that's definitely anything behind the body, you kind of keep your hand close to your body, and that'll help you like navigate really better. And then we did our drill thing, our pendulum drill. So we did just working on those pendulums, keeping them flat, going through. And really, once you get comfortable with this one, you kind of want to do all your throw types through there, and that'll help you really dial it in. That you're like really solid. And then do the same thing behind you in that spot. And then when we do the no beats, that'll be like kind of in this like split time thing. We didn't really go over this, but this is kind of the drill for no beats. It's just split time. And then when you have that air time right there, you can feel that with like a snap or like something tactile, like little head, shoulders, knees, and game. And that's a good way to kind of give yourself more space in the air. Kind of really any throw, if it feels rushed, you can kind of add a little bit of a snap or something, and that'll help your brain like register that you have more time than you think you do. So that's one way of doing it. We didn't really go over this, but I'll just do it now since we have the video. This is like just a pattern. This is usually what I teach in my tosses class. This is like the final from the tosses class. So all it is just, it's very similar to this drill, it's just in split time. So we just have a single behind, single in front, and a no beat across. And then that's just repeating on both sides. So you have single, 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 no. Single, 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 no. Single, single, no. So that's kind of, it's very similar to this drill. It's just sort of like the advanced version of that. You can kind of break that down into these things too, and add those different types of throws. This is a good like foundational shape. It's just this like wall playing penguins. But we won't get into that too much. Then we worked on throwing from 2 and 1, just from this position, dialing in that dangle and a really loose grip over here. And you can keep that at an angle if you want. Doesn't really matter. And then just throwing to the other hand, and you can just replace over here. Just throw that. This is kind of like a decent drill for that. And then sort of the goal of that is, so we're leading towards multiplexes, is don't worry about the throw of the first one so much, but think about what you can do with the pinky once it's there. And so you want to be able to throw and catch before the other one hits the ground where it would be normally caught. So that's kind of our goal, is just to get, right? And that's going to lead into the butterfly multiplex that we talked about. So once you have your solid one-handed butterfly, kind of the same thing. We're throwing a nice high one, and then we have that little zip, right?
Oh.
It's going to be single rotation, single rotation. Most of you guys didn't were for that, but
That's sick.
yeah. And sort of the lead up to that is just throwing singles back and forth between the pinky and thumb position. Right? So that's like the drill for that. It's just, so we're just catching and pinky and catching and thumb. Very tedious. Relearning how to juggle, basically. And the other thing you can do is just throw two singles separately in split time. So just pinky, thumb, catch, catch. So that's kind of like, if you know the sight swap, that's 4x2, 0. Starting with the pinkies usually a little easier. Starting with the thumbs usually a little harder. And then when we do the multiplex, it's going to be thumb first, high, pinky fast. Basically the same thing. Also, don't have to catch that all in the same hand. Just throw your other one across. It's a little less less overwhelming, right? You can just throw in the other hand. You're not rushed on that other one. But the drill for that pinky one is just doing this nice, big, soft stall, and then throwing it down. Because that's what's going to happen. You throw, catch. Right? So you're thinking about throwing that thumb one that's not there, and then catching this one before the thumb. And we worked on a couple different like swap things just to get used to throwing and catching from the pinky. So we got the pinky going to the thumb, end up in this position, and the thumb going to the pinky underneath, end up in that. And you can kind of just do that like as the drill back and forth. And we worked on throwing the singles across, right? And those zips, sort of like partner passing, right? And again, it's like to not be overwhelmed, you know. All you're really doing in this one is throwing a single, catching, and then throwing a zip with the thumb, interrupting it with the. You can also just throw across, just full singles. You're just getting used to receiving in that butterfly shape. But yeah, this one's really nice though. It's like definitely one of my favorite little flashy things. The other thing we worked on was catching in the head, just going back in. It's just a really good drill for like timing and control. Just being able to go in and out. It kind of gets you used to like what a release feels like. And then kind of passing that off. This is like getting you used to like catching in that butterfly shape.
I do the baton when I was a kid, so that's like
Right. You don't need to do it all at
I
once.
was gonna buy a prop.
You can go step by step until it feels like kind of
She
good.
had a body
With the extra spins are okay.
kind of just like that.
Sort of the whole thing with the juggling poi in general, but especially these multiplexes and butterfly stuff, is this pulse. You have this like kind of isolation, linear isolation going up, and you're pulsing the whole time. That never goes away as long as you're in synchronous, which all these patterns are in synchronous. So that like, even though I have no poi here, that's like, I want to feel that shape, right? Because if I wait and then it gets, now the timing's out, right? So I have that pulse. And once you have 3 poi, or if you do 4 poi, or you know, however high you want to go, you're going to be in this pulse, and there are going to be other poi moving, so that'll actually help you like pull that along. And then we just talked about a couple different types of the multiplexes, throwing the like movements across, so like throwing the pinky as a no beat and the thumb as a single. And again, that one's not really, you're not really doing all that much, you're just pushing across, right? You just have that butterfly and you're just pushing that whole shape, and it kind of just splits it naturally that way.
I wanted
you could put a little more juice on the thumb one and make it like an overturn.
Yeah, so I thought about getting, you know how you can do the exercise?
And once you have control over it, you can kind of do it.
But my thing is,
A whole thing like together on one side.
I really haven't
I feel like that was it. Was there anything else? Oh, we went over these things. Yeah, so just really it's dialing in the spinning loose in that ball and socket, and then these nose slingers. There's really not a good name for it.
my walls would be a lot more.
Nose slinger is kind of a good name, but it's kind of stupid. But yeah, you're just letting that rotate around your hand, letting your thumb up, sliding around, just getting that dial in. It'll just help with your like speed and relaxedness of juggling. Cool.
But I can do.
I think that's it.
Dude,
Great.
thank you so much.
You're great.